South Korea posted another trade deficit last month, the 8th in a row, which is the longest streak since the Asian financial crisis 25 years ago. The November deficit came to over $7 billion. Shin Se-byuck has the details.
South Korea logged a trade deficit for the 8th straight month in November due to high global energy prices. Trade Ministry data released Thursday shows South Korea suffered a trade deficit of over $7 billion in November. That is the longest streak since the 1997 Asian financial crisis. This came as South Korea's exports declined on year by 14% to just shy of $52 billion. This marks a second straight month of a drop in exports, following a 5.7% on-year fall in the previous month. The ministry attributed this to a global economic slowdown and ongoing logistics disruptions caused by a trucker strike in South Korea. By item, overseas sales of semiconductors, South Korea's key export item, fell almost 30% on year on falling demand. Sales of petrochemicals also tumbled more than 26%. But car exports jumped to an all-time monthly high of $5.4 billion, up 31% year-over-year, while petroleum products increased by 26%. Such a mixed performance from industries, according to an economy expert, is due to differing economic conditions at export destinations.
South Korea's exports are very sensitive to global economies, particularly China's. Beijing's zero-COVID policy apparently deteriorated towards exports, especially in manufacturing. On the other hand, the situation in the U.S. is pretty good, so South Korea could have an outstanding performance in terms of auto exports.
In fact, by nation, exports to China slid more than 25% to around $11.4 billion, while exports to the United States rose 8% to nearly $8.8 billion. Meanwhile, imports were up 2.7% on year to almost $59 billion in November. Imports have exceeded exports in South Korea since April on high energy prices driven by the ongoing Ukraine war. This comes as South Korea relies heavily on imports for its energy needs. The country's energy imports surged more than 27% on year to over $15.5 billion in November. With expected high energy demand for the winter ahead, the same experts added South Korea should brace for a further import increases. Shin Se-byuck, Arirang News.